Hi, welcome to Bucks Tactical Evolution. In this video, we will be discussing the latest coaching news with regards to Orlando Pirates. As we know that the Buccaneers, they are waiting with bated breath to see which coach will be the successor to the departed Spanish tactician José Riveiro. José Riveiro, who has done well with Orlando Pirates, seems to have really set the bar high for the next coach, and the Buccaneers, they can't wait to see who is going to be the successor of the man who won 5 trophies in 3 seasons with Orlando Pirates. And currently we are having the latest news. The news that we have now is that the former Simba Amazulu coach Pablo Franco Martin, who previously was assistant coach at Real Madrid back in 2018, has been strongly linked with Orlando Pirates. And this comes after he has left his job in Saudi Arabia, where he was coaching in Division 1, his club Al Fasali. He helped that club to survive relegation. And if you remember, this is the club where he has been coaching one of the former Stellenbosch and Mamelodi Sundowns player, who is Junior Mendieta, who joined Mamelodi Sundowns from Stellis before going for Volos in Greece, and he left Greece to second division in Saudi Arabia to Al Fasali. Then he has been coached by Pablo Franco Martin. Now Pablo Franco Martin helped Al Fasali to avoid relegation, and then he has quit the job at the end of the season. And it has been reported that the chairman of the club has persuaded him to stay at the club, and even trying to give him a 40% increase of the current salary that he was on. And then Pablo Franco Martin decided to leave because previously this coach, when he was linked with Orlando Pirates, he said that he want to coach a team that can challenge for championship. Now, considering that in Saudi Arabia, he has just been playing in the second division, and knowing that even when he get a chance to promote it to Saudi Premier League, he won't be able to compete with the likes of Al Ahly, Al Hilal, and Al Ittihad. So he realized that it will be difficult, and it shows that he's a competitive coach who wants to win things. And then this is the man that previously Orlando Pirates have shown interest in him, but he said that he couldn't leave because he was still busy working at Simba, and he doesn't like to leave the club during mid-season. And now that's when he came to Amazulu after Orlando Pirates had already appointed José Riveiro. And now this is the coach who came to Amazulu, and he played some of the best football, more similar to what Orlando Pirates were playing. And it is easy to see why Orlando Pirates back then, they really wanted him before José Riveiro came. Because if you look at how he played and allow players like Mlondi Mbanjwa, the likes of Tsepa Moreni, as well as Ethan Brooks, to express themselves in that fluid attacking system at Amazulu. It shows that it gives the reason why Orlando Pirates, they wanted Pablo Franco Martin. And now he left Usutu after spending 13 months in Durban, and now having left after 13 months in South Africa speaks of somebody who already has experience of coaching in South Africa. And he recently said that even when he's in Saudi Arabia, he keeps on checking back what is happening in the South African Premier League, because he says that the doors are always open for him to come back and coach in the Premier League. And then this is a player who knows everything that is happening. Then he was contacted by a coach in Barcelona B team when they were looking for Relebohile Mofokeng. They asked him about Relebohile Mofokeng, and then he told them that they should sign Relebohile Mofokeng because he's a very, very good player. And that speaks of a coach who knows the players in South African football, not only that he's coaching. That is why it was easy for him even to be straightforward with the Barcelona B team coach after they were recommended a lot of wingers from Africa when they asked him about Relebohile Mofokeng, since he's in South Africa. And that speaks of somebody that can be trusted by coaches in Barcelona for them to ask him about Relebohile Mofokeng. And then also that speaks of somebody who understands players at Orlando Pirates currently. And Pablo Franco Martin, he did well with the quality that was at Amazulu despite leaving early in the second season. And recently he reported that there were players that he wanted to sign for Amazulu, but unfortunately they were not delivered, and there were others that he wanted them to leave. So before, and then he left to Saudi Arabia. Now he has just left the job at the end of the season, and then he's reported that he's coming back to South Africa to come and take over as the at Orlando Pirates as the successor of José Riveiro. And looking at the type of football that he played. Even while at Simba, when Simba they didn't have really quality players except Pape Sako, who was wearing number 10, the Senegalese. He's one of the star performers for Simba team that Orlando Pirates eliminated during the quarterfinals of the CAF Confederations Cup in 2021, where Orlando Pirates went on to reach the final and lost to RC Berkane on penalties. So he didn't have a lot of stronger quality players back then in Simba, but then he still showed his coaching, and Orlando Pirates clearly they could see that he's a top coach, just as they managed to see José Riveiro that he's a top coach even without having coached any top sides in the world. Now, this speaks of the coach that Orlando Pirates, they really value his tactical acumen, his philosophy, and how he wants football to be played. And as I said, considering how he allowed the free-flowing attacking football at Amazulu, it's something that he will be able to bring to Orlando Pirates should the club consider him to succeed José Riveiro going forward. He's a very, very strong coach who believes in his philosophy, who believes in his tactics. And I strongly believe that Pablo Franco Martin is one of those coaches that Orlando Pirates could really, really get themselves a very big coach. Advantage is that Franco, he knows South African football, unlike José Riveiro, who came to South Africa not knowing anything about Africa, let alone South African football. But the good thing is that José Riveiro, he adjusted himself very well, and he made sure that he identified himself with the players. You know, he was not only coaching players, but human beings. And that's one thing that really helped José Riveiro to adjust very well and to win the players over. And if Pablo Franco Martin comes to lead Orlando Pirates, it will be advantageous for him because he has already coached in South African football and he has shown his tactical acumen and he knows what is expected, especially coaching a team like Orlando Pirates, as he was also coaching a big club in Tanzania in Simba. So I think that will be a wise move should Orlando Pirates opt for Pablo Franco Martins. His football was just impeccable, and despite not getting necessarily a required result in certain games. So I strongly believe that should Orlando Pirates go for Pablo Franco Martin, it's going to be a good move for the club, since he knows the club and everything that is happening in the South African football. So, as I said, Orlando Pirates, they will be getting themselves a really, really good coach in Pablo Franco Martin, considering that he knows what is expected at big clubs because he coached at Simba, and there is a lot of pressure in Simba. By that time when he was at Simba, Yanga was a little bit, had an upper hand over Simba by then when he was in Tanzania, and then he knows the pressure. That is why even after being knocked out of the quarterfinals, and then he never continued, they let him go. So this is one of the things that Pablo Franco Martin understands about coaching a big club, and he also likes to give younger players a chance. We've seen them with Amazulu giving some of the young players a chance. And if you remember Ethan Brooks, he played for Bafana Bafana while he was still with, I think it was Kukuni or TS Galaxy, one of his former clubs. He was in Bafana Bafana early years when Hugo Bros arrived. But as soon as he joined Amazulu, we could hardly recognize Ethan Brooks. But later, when Pablo Franco Martin joined Amazulu, we started to see the revival of Ethan Brooks, a young player who had already played for Bafana Bafana, really reminding us of why he first played for Bafana Bafana, why he played for Bafana Bafana in the first place. So Pablo Franco Martin is one of those coaches who really, really believes in young players. He believes in attacking football. So there won't be any disruptions at Orlando Pirates should Pablo Franco Martin take over and lead the team, because he knows the player. He likes Lebohile Mofokeng. He likes the likes of Mahaungota as well, as these are the emerging talents. As he said that he has been looking back in South Africa while he's in Saudi Arabia, because he was always open to return to South Africa. So these are some of the things that Pablo Franco Martin makes Pablo Franco Martin an ideal coach for Orlando Pirates. As I said, he is very, very strong tactical argument. I've seen Pirates playing against Amazulu. It was very difficult for Orlando Pirates to beat his team. Even though Orlando Pirates, they managed to beat some of those games, it was always difficult because his side were very organized tactically, defensively they were organized, and offensively they were also organized. They've got these quick rotational movements in the last third. They were very, very good Amazulu side. So this is a good coach that I believe that should Orlando Pirates get them, they will have one of the best coaches, and who can continue where Riveiro left off, because it's not always easy to join a club when they had a success, because then you have to make sure that either you maintain the standards or you go even higher, you know. And we've seen even recently in Europe when Thiago Motta helped Bologna to qualify for the European Champions League. He left that season to join Juventus, and when he left, Bologna lost some of the players like Zeki, the Dutch striker who went to Manchester United, and Riccardo Calafiori, he went to join Arsenal, you know. And then Vincenzo Italiano, he joined Bologna, and then he had just helped Bologna to win Coppa Italia, beating AC Milan a few days ago, making sure that they get the first trophy in many years. So it's not always easy to reach the highest standard, but it's possible to replace a coach who has done well for a club and even go higher, as Vincenzo Italiano brought a trophy in Bologna after so many years, having with Thiago Motta having qualified the team to the European Champions League. So I still believe that Pablo Franco Martin, who played in the CAF Continental, in the CAF competition, he brings that experience again, and I believe that he can do more. He can go even higher than what José Riveiro has done. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment about Franco Martin. See you on the next video.